Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2019 Back-to-Back Battles. Today we have Jamie Boyt's 9th place world team once again with Salamence, Salazzle, Breloom, Necrozma Dustmane, Xerneas, and Tapu Koko. If you haven't checked out the previous episode, highly recommend go check it out. And if you do want to check out Jamie's stuff, you can check it out down below in the description down below. But I do want to ask everyone a question of the day. Like always, what is your favorite Tapu Pokemon? Because I do want to know. I think we saw teams this year where, Tapus weren't as prevalent, I feel like. But the fact is that ever since VGC 17, Tapus have been a pretty big part, especially with terrain. So, yeah, let me know what your favorite Tapu Pokemon is in the description down below. I think my favorite has to be... I think design-wise, it would be Tapu Koko, but if it's competitive-wise, it'd be Tapu Fini. I think Tapu Fini is the most balanced of the four, as well as I think Tapu Fini is just really good. Just has a really good bulk setup. It has a bunch of great moves, I think. But we got our first opponent of today, Alex, 1664 rating. But yeah, oh my lord, this is like you have Lopunny, Shed, Tapu Fini with Soak probably, and a Chansey. Oh my lord, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Yeah. We got a Breloom though, which is fortunate, so Soak isn't really going to be affecting us, as well as we have a Necrozma, which is actually pretty good in this matchup. I think Salamence plus Necrozma is probably... What do I want to bring as a 4? I don't think I bring Salazzle. Salazzle just doesn't do anything in this matchup other than maybe a fake out fling, but it just doesn't do much. I think the 4 I definitely want to bring will be Salamence for its Intimidate, Tailwind, as well as its good matchup against Groudon. I did want to bring the Necrozma because of the fact it does hit the Shed. Breloom I want to bring because of the fact that it actually can knock out Chansey with Superpower, which is nice because there's no Intimidate on my opponent's team. And then the Xerneas because the Yveltal is really annoying. So yeah, that's what I want to bring, I think. I want to go... What do I want to go as a lead? I'm thinking... Salamence plus Necrozma's alright with Breloom plus Xerneas in the back. I wish I had more time to think because I ended up not really thinking as much as what I want to lead as what I was trying to consider were the best options against my opponent. I think Salamence was definitely a great lead here. I just didn't know which to target with, because I don't know what my opponent's going to bring exactly. I'm really worried about Tapu Fini plus a Lopunny lead, because I had to play mind games between Swagger. You can sell Swagger itself, the Lopunny, and pick up a KO very fast. We're going to see Groudon Lopunny, which is not a lead I was expecting here, but this works out in my favor, I think. So I can go for an Earth Power into the Groudon slot and a Tailwind, I think, with my Salamence. So yeah, I mean, Groudon is the Pokemon that I am worried about the most. Since we're not a hasty Salamence, we shouldn't go down to 1 Ice Punch from the Lopunny, which is good. Yeah, and the Groudon can't threaten much unless it's Hidden Power Ice, which would be bad news, but I think it would be acceptable here. So we will go for a Tailwind. Yeah, I just don't see a reason not to go for Tailwind here. And an Earth Power. Gain of speed advantage is pretty huge against my opponent. So let's see what my opponent's going to do. We're going to see the Groudon retreat. Yveltal probably? No, it's Tapu Fini. Okay, so we don't know what the last Pokemon is on my opponent's side, but the Swagger mind games is real because I don't know which option my opponent's going to pick. Because I'm pretty sure my opponent can just click Swagger. I mean, my opponent can also click just Moonblast too, but if it's not invested, it just doesn't pick up a KO here. I guess maybe just going for a Photon Geyser would have been nice into the Lopunny slot, but I think we're still fine regardless. I'd be really surprised if my opponent didn't bring Yveltal though against the Necrozma. Because I'm wondering what my opponent's best way to handle the Necrozma is if it's not Yveltal. So, we will burst here with our Ultra Necrozma. Fake Out going to come out into the Salamence. Yeah, because you want to deny Fake Out. Earth Power going to come out into the Tapu Fini slot. And you want to imagine this is at least a Scarf variant. As yeah, Earth Power did a lot, so I'm guessing that's at least just max HP. We'll go for the Tailwind here, because getting a speed advantage is really nice against my opponent's team. And I'm going to go for a Photon Geyser, I think. I'm just worried if my opponent locks in Icy Wind and you just go for Icy Wind, Ice Punch. But I don't have a really big... I don't really have a play that covers that unless I want to go a Xerneas here. But the problem with going Xerneas is that my opponent goes for the Swagger play and gets Lopunny boosted, and then it has Giga Impact. We're going to see Return here into the Necrozma slot, and we reveal Lopunny's faster than the... Lopunny's faster than the Tapu Fini. Moonblast's going to come out on a Salamence too, which won't be able to pick up a knockout. And then I just able to knock out the Lopunny slot. We already confirmed it with Scarf, but wow. His Fini is actually slower than the Lopunny, which is an interesting and curious decision. Maybe it's just not a Swagger, which would make sense then, as we are able to get Tailwind up with our Salamence. And yeah, this is looking like a great spot here, as we just got so much momentum right here. We'll see what my opponent really has in the back. Of course, if it is the Shed, I still have to be worried because of the fact I need one of these Pokemon alive in order to win the game. It's going to be the Chansey instead, and... okay, I don't think Chansey usually carries Protect in VGC. Or in general, unless it's just Toxic regular stall, but... let's see if a physical Light That Burns the Sky into a Double Edge from Salamence can knock out the Chansey, but ooh... okay, my opponent making plays, gonna go in Groudon, which is actually, I think, still fine regardless, because me knocking out the Groudon or me knocking out the Chansey, either way was beneficial to me, I think. So, let's see the Groudon come out. I will go for the Light That Burns the Sky in the Double Edge here, which should be able to pick up a knockout into that Groudon slot, and then if I'm able to knock out the Groudon, actually, maybe this doesn't even knock out Groudon. I will find out. We will find out. Even if it doesn't, I think we're still in a pretty good spot regardless. So, let's see. Here comes Light That Burns the Sky. Holy cow, that actually did way more damage than I expected. This Double Edge going to be able to pick up the knock on Groudon. I don't even think we lose our Salamence here, actually. I think we live by Sliver. Yeah. Moonblast's going to come out. Probably target down the Necrozma slot. Yeah, okay. Now it's on Necrozma, but that's perfectly fine. I just get a free switch in the Breloom and I can go for Superpower. Yeah. Don't see why I don't go Breloom before the Chansey starts going for Minimize, which would be really annoying here. So we'll go on a Breloom here. If my opponent had Protect, he would have went for it by then. So I'm assuming this Chansey doesn't have Protect. I'm going to go for the Double Edge here into the Tapu Fini slot, which I think should pick up a knockout. I think... should I just double the Chansey slot? Because if I knock out Chansey, I just win the game. So yeah, I'm going to double the Chansey slot. I don't think the Chansey carries Protect. Yeah, so there's no Protect, and there's no Ally Switch, which was a potential option, which is why Double Edge covers it, because I think Double Edge would have knocked out the Fini regardless. But Salamence goes down as we are able to get Superpower off into the Chansey slot, and Chansey will go down without having dealt one Minimize or Toxic or whatever Chansey could really do there. So Chansey will go down, and Moonblast going to target down the Breloom, but Breloom will be able to survive with its Focus Sash. And with the Xerneas still in the back, we should be pretty good here. As Breloom -1 attack, defense, special attack as well, thanks to that Moonblast. But now I can just go for my own Moonblast into the Tapu Fini slot and Bullet Seed under Tailwind, and we're guaranteed to outspeed the Scarf Tapu Fini that we saw in the turn 1 of this battle. So Moonblast will come out and Bullet Seed as long as it clicks. Okay, there we go. And yeah, just not really much of an option my opponent has. I could even Geomance if I really want to, but there's no reason to really. I know it's Scarf because it did outspeed my Salamence and my Necrozma. You do need a Choice Scarf to do that. Moonblast almost just picks up the knock on Tapu Fini, and Bullet Seed will be able to finish off the Tapu Fini slot. And now it'll be a good game to my opponent. So, the Lopunny not being as much of a threat, the fact that Return, it looked like, was its best move to hit. Well, who did it go for Return onto? I think it went for Return onto my Ultra Necrozma slot, and the fact that my opponent wasn't able to pick up a knockout with the Fini Moonblast was huge because of the fact that this was a especially defensive Salamence. So the fact is that we were able to survive. That was pretty clutch. Getting that Tailwind just pretty much allowed us to dominate our opponent. There wasn't really good switches my opponent could do because whatever I had was just getting Z-moved to double edge. There really wasn't much of a switch, and even if my opponent got a KO and was able to survive, I mean, Xerneas could go up Geomancy, and then we also had the Breloom, which was just threatening so much offensive presence. So yeah, not much to say. We were able to pick up a pretty big, nice fast win there, as we will continue on and play our second game of today's episode. But yeah, as I mentioned before in the question of the day, the Tapu Fini. I love Tapu Fini. Misty Surge is just one of my favorite abilities. I think it's just really nice in general, preventing statuses. But yeah, 1647 rating. Antonio, it's I spam. You got Tapu Lele, Necrozma, Dawn Wings, Gardevoir, Groudon, the Whimsicott, and Stakataka. So this is concerning. This is concerning. Because I don't know what exactly I want to do here. Alright, what do I need to bring? Like, I think you're supposed to bring Tapu Koko into this, but I feel like I want to try to go Breloom and try to risk spore my opponent. But my opponent could be a Magic Room set, so I guess that wouldn't work out. I think if you're my opponent, you just lead the Necrozma Dawn Wings plus the Tapu Lele. I think I'm gonna go Salamence actually. Salamence Breloom actually sounds really good to me. I think with Necrozma and Xerneas in the back. The reason I think I'm gonna make this play is because Salazzle and Tapu Koko just don't seem that great in this matchup, in my opinion. And the fact is, my Salamence will have one Moonblast from the Tapu Lele as long as I don't have Fairy Aura activated on the field. So what this allows me to do is this will allow, I think Magic Room plus Photon Guys is gonna go off into the Salamence slab, but basically I can say, hey, I could go for Spore or I could get Tailwind up. Either way, it works for me. There's not really much my opponent could do there. So we will see the Whimsicott Necrozma, which is an interesting combination here, which is actually a bit scary because I don't know what my opponent can really do. I mean, we could trade Tailwinds, which is a thing. I can go for Spore into the Necrozma slot, which is actually pretty good. There's no Magic Room, so my opponent would have to double up a slot here. I think I'm going to Tailwind here, and I think I'm going to go for a Spore into the Necrozma slot. Let's see. Let us see. Because I think we are still in a pretty decent spot regardless. I'm pretty sure that the Whimsicott will carry Tailwind. Maybe Fake Tears? It could have Fake Tears. I don't know if it has Taunt. That's the thing. If it has Taunt, this is actually going to be a bit troublesome. But I don't really know what exactly. Like, there's so many possible options that this Whimsicott could have, and it's super scary right here. So we will bring out the Salamence right here, and let's see what my opponent goes for. It's going to be okay. So Necrozma is bursting. Doesn't really tell us much, but at least Xerneas' Moonblast will be able to knock it out if I can get it on the field without the boost. We're gonna see the Moongeist Beam, which is an interesting move to use here. Maybe just trying to cover for the switch in a Necrozma, as my opponent is going to go for the Moonblast into the Breloom slot. Okay, which is fine. Really don't mind that trade, I think. And we will get Tailwind up. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. I think what this allows me to do is I'm pretty sure that my opponent's going to have Groudon and I think Lele in the back, unless there is no Lele, which would make this interesting. I'm going to bring out the Xerneas and I think attempt a Geomancy, because I think your play, if you're my opponent, is just a Tailwind here and protect Necrozma, because if I Geomancy, you can go for a... you could go for like an Encore and a Xerneas the following turn, since if you're Focus Ash Whimsicott, you should be able to survive all attacks. And it covers me going for the Moonblast or a Dazzling Gleam right here, because you'd have the speed advantage regardless. So yeah, I'm going to roar the Whimsicott here and Geomancy up with my Xerneas and hope this play works out, because I think it can. The only thing is if my opponent reads that, has Taunt, and goes for a Taunt here. We are going to see Necrozma Protect, which is no surprise here, and I want to say it is a Tailwind coming up. Yep. So I do get that read right, and I'm able to get the Geomancy off and a Tailwind, which allows me to outspeed the Necrozma and roar out the Whimsicott. And if it's something like the Lele, that would be great here. That would be absolutely great here. If it's the stack attacking, that's like the one thing that's really bad for me. But otherwise, I think we should be good here, as we will boost up. And let's see what we roar the Whimsicott out into. Groudon. Okay, that's acceptable. I would gladly take Groudon. Yeah, because now I can just go for a double-edged Dazzling Gleam into this slot. And as long as it's not Roar on the Groudon, we should be fine. If the Groudon had Roar, this game was probably... I guess this play is kind of meaningless, but usually I feel like the Groudons on this team usually carry like Swords Dance. Maybe they're mixed. They have Dragon Claw. But yeah, we're going to go for the double-edge here into the Groudon and just a Dazzling Gleam to pick up a KO, or just do a lot of damage to the Necrozma slot, whatever it wants to really switch in, if it's the Whimsicott or something else. But we'll see what my opponent really does here. I think we're in a pretty good spot after that play, but it really comes down to what kind of Groudon set this is. We also don't know what's in the back, if it was like stack attacker or not. But my opponent gonna give me the Necrozma Dawnwings, and that is the Pokemon I absolutely needed to KO for my Necrozma Dustmane to do some work in this game. So that's a pretty big. A double edge gonna come out into the Groudon slot. I do a good amount of damage, puts it in range of another Dazzling Gleam. It's just Fire Punch coming out. Okay. Into the Xerneas. No burn, which is huge, and no crit. I'm thinking if it is stack attack in the back, I could potentially go for Earthquake Moonblast. I think I read something about that in James' report where Moonblast and Earthquake might be able to pick up a knockout Shucka stack. I don't remember if the stack had Shucka or not, but I think it is my only play if Stacka does come out. So let's see if the stack attacker will come out, or if it's just Lele, this game should be over. I can go for a Moonblast into that Lele slot and the double edge into the Groudon slot. It looks like double edge would finish off the Groudon regardless. Whimsicott can't really do much here. It is going to be the Whimsicott, so unless the Whimsicott has something that can be detrimental here, we should be fine. I'm actually going to double up that Whimsicott slot because I'm actually worried about, like, if it has Trick Room. Whimsicott does get access to Trick Room, and I just don't see a reason not to Dazzling Gleam here. I wonder what the Whimsicott can really do here. There isn't much. We saw Moonblast and Tailwind already, but we don't know what else it could really carry in the back. But we should be fine regardless right now. We're in a pretty fantastic spot right now. We're going to see Groudon Protect, which is fine. I wonder if my opponent's just going to try to knock out the Salamence slot here with a... what could he really do here, though? Dazzling Gleam will come out. We already confirmed that's a bulky Groudon because it took the double edge pretty well. Sash does get revealed here. It's just going to be a Moonblast, probably just going to knock out my Salamence slot. I could have maybe switched out into the... Oh, wow, that doesn't actually knock it out. So we're actually able to knock out the Whimsicott, which is actually pretty nice. So Whimsicott will go down. And yeah, that's actually really good for me, as Whimsicott will go down here. We do get a free switch. As we don't get that free switch, but I think that's fine regardless. Tapaletta is that back Pokemon, so yeah, as I anticipated. Since Tailwind is up, I can just protect my Xerneas here, I think, and just sack my Salamence here. Yeah, I'm just going to double edge the Lele slot and protect, I think. I could Tailwind up too, I think. I don't think it really matters at this point because I'm pretty sure that Necrozma will win the game. But we'll see what my opponent really does here. I think you... what, do you Moonblast the... or Shadow Ball? No, you have Dazzling Gleam. That's fine. But yeah, that's not really like too big. I can go for a... Did I just Moonblast? Yeah, I think I just Moonblast. I'm going to go Necrozma here. Earth Power should be enough to knock out the Groudon at that range, I'd imagine, even in its base form Necrozma. But we don't have Tailwind up, so we don't know if the Necrozma is actually faster than the Groudon. So I'd rather just Earth Power, actually. I'm going to Earth Power the Groudon, and I'm going to Moonblast the Lele. If it's Sash Lele, I guess this changes the game, but we'll find out here, I guess. But even then, I don't think with the Fairy Aura, it will be able to knock out Necrozma regardless, and it definitely won't be able to knock out Xerneas if it's just Focus Sash on the Lele. My opponent would need some crits to come back in the game. But we'll see. Hopefully, we are going to be able to pull this one through. we will bring out the Ultra Necrozma here. And let's see what my opponent does here. I luckily know Stack Attack. Stack Attack might have made this difficult if it was a Shucker Berry. No Protects coming out. Moonblast will come out into the Tapu Lele slot. Let's pick up a Knockout. I am guessing it is going to be that Choice Scarf variant on the Tapu Lele, and Earth Power will be able to finish off the Groudon and pick up another win for us today. So Xerneas is doing some more work. The Ultra Necrozma able to pick up that big KO, and we are able to pick up 2 wins in today's episode. I think it is a bit of a short episode, but I think that is going to be good enough for today. I hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2019 Baek Battles. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like down below, show support. So the big play in that battle was the roar. The roar was so big. That was a giant play because of the fact is it covered basically that very safe play that my opponent had. That covered basically every other option if I didn't have Roar, because it means if I Moonblasted, Dazzling Gleam, didn't matter. My opponent got the Tailwind up, could bring in Lele, threatens the Z move, and threatens knockouts. If I go for Geomancy, it covers that play too, because the Whimsicott stays around, guaranteed because of his Focus Sash, and then can Encore me the following turn. So yeah, like just having that Roar was absolutely crucial there. Being able to roar out that Whimsicott was the play I needed, because that just allowed me to get that Geomancy off, and that was absolutely huge. But yeah, hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2019 Baek Battles. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like down below, show support, as well as you can check out the rest of my stuff down below in the description, as well as such as my social media, side series on the channel, and more. If you want to support me, you can also leave a like down below on this video if you did enjoy it, as well as leave a comment down below and share this video with your friends. Be sure to answer the common question of the day, which is which Tapu is your favorite and why. Can be design wise, can be competitive wise, can be for any reason really. But otherwise, thank you all for tuning in today's episode. If you want to go an extra mile to support my content, there is my Twitch channel and my Patreon page. Thank you all to those who have supported me on those platforms. If you do want to go an extra mile, you can check them out in the description down below. But otherwise, that is pretty much it, I think. You can check out Jamie's stuff down below in the description as well. If you're using the team alongside me, let me know your thoughts about the team. But otherwise, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, people. Until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.